Let's start with a question that I get all the time. Do you need to learn Italian before you go to Italy? And the short answer is no. No, you do not need it. But even a few words, something friendly, will completely change how locals welcome you. And honestly, it becomes one of the most fun parts of your trip. I've been learning Italian myself, so I'll be sharing a bit of that experience with you. And I'm joined by my friend Monica, who helps English speakers learn Italian. You'll learn that saying ciao may not be the best way to greet strangers and what to say instead. So, andiamo, let's learn some Italian.
Now, Monica teaches Italian, and I have been a student. It's a little bit on pause at the moment, but I've been one of her students. And what I wanted to ask Monica is, do we really need to learn Italian when we go to Italy?
No, no, it's not necessary. It depends where you go. Definitely, you can go to Rome. Again, more you go in the most famous and not untold places. Of course, you can speak English. But when you go a bit in countrysides or places that are not as touristy, then yes, some Italian will be beneficial. I always say it is really how you want to live the experience in Italy. So if you can just know a tiny little, you will make people happy when you interact with them and will change completely your experience, I think. But this not just for Italian, for everywhere you go in the world, if you know some little words will make your travel a bit better, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And it's such a beautiful language, I think. And there's some little things to know as well that can make your experience a little bit more authentic. Like when you go into a shop in our countries, in Australia, we always say, hi, how you going? Don't we? Hey, how you going? But in Italy, what do they say?
Oh, we just greet. And then we just say buongiorno, buonasera. It depends by what time of the day it is. And yes, we don't usually ask, how are you? Unless they really want to know you and how you feel. Maybe they will ask you desidera. So what would you desire? Or do you need? Or can I help you? Posso aiutarla? But yes, this is a cultural point, just slightly different.
Yeah, I love it. But I think it's really important to know that when you go into a shop or a restaurant, it's like in some cultures, you just go in and you say, oh, I want this. But in Italy, you need to say, buongiorno, buonasera. And we don't also, another one is we like to say ciao a lot because ciao is easy to say and it's fun. It's kind of like ciao, ciao. But Italians wouldn't say that, would they, to someone that they didn't really know?
So one thing that I always teach to everyone that starts learning Italian is exactly this. We need to know that Italian language is made for speaking formal and informal. So if you want to speak formally with a person, you usually address to that person, for instance, with the greetings, with buongiorno, buonasera. But if it's someone younger than you or a friend, then of course you can say ciao. So that's already the first big difference to know. You will never go to a doctor and say hello. You will always say good morning or good evening. You never go in a shop or in a restaurant saying ciao. The ciao comes when, and I like to see that, especially when you spend a few days in a place, and I always suggest pick one coffee shop. I know it's tempting to try all different ones, but if you find one that you like, go in the same coffee shop because the experience the second day, the third day will change. They will recognize your face. Remember, people that works in coffee shops or restaurants usually are the owner of the place or someone that actually works there full time. And so they will recognize you. And then maybe by the third time you go there, they will say ciao. No? And you will understand, you feel like, oh, I'm part of it now. So yes, this is the difference. So keep the ciao just for friends or for people that are younger than you. So of course, if you see a little kid in the street, don't say buongiorno to him unless you smile and you be nice because otherwise he will be maybe scared. But then you can use ciao. Otherwise, keep buongiorno and buonasera. And I have another one that is good in all the cases, and probably Katy knows. Do you remember the word that starts with S?
Salve.
Exactly. That's a good one. Salve is a greeting that is polite, but at the same time easy to say to everyone. It's salve. And it's a very good one to know because you can use it in any occasion. So you don't have to think about what time of the day it is to say that. And yeah, it's a good one. The same for arrivederci. It's a very good one when you greet to go away. If he's a friend, otherwise you can just double the ciao. Ciao, ciao means arrivederci.
I love it. I love it. So look, as Monica said, you don't need to learn it, but it does bring a little different something to your trip and it makes things special. And I know, Monica, you've got a special course where people can, if they want to learn Italian before their trip, you've got a special course they can sign up for.
Yeah. I've been running Su Misura Italy from 2018, and every time I notice, as you say, for when you're planning your trip, you have to understand what kind of trip do you want. And in the same for Italian, my first question is always like, how much Italian do you want to know? Do you want to know the Italian for travel, or do you want to be fluent, or you want to do a course in Italy? If you are traveling or if you just want to approach the language, but without going through grammar, deeply go and try to create structures. You remember when you mentioned as well the little guide at the end, they had all these the phrasal part, So you were reading all these things, but sometimes you read them and you're not sure if you pronounce them well and what they mean and when you can use them. You can ask these questions. So I designed this course. It's called 4 Weeks to Italy. You don't have to do it 4 weeks exactly before your trip. You can start anytime and then maybe keep revisioning it. It's a semi-self-paced. So I don't like self-paced completely because sometimes you get lost and you can't ask questions. So it's something I designed. You have a little lesson every week, every day. So it's a full immersion, but very fun and easy. I listen every day. You can listen or you can read. And then once a week, you have actually twice in 4 weeks, you have a catch up with the tutor. The tutor also answer all your messages and questions 24 hours, basically, because we cover worldwide. And because I'm being part of this beautiful experience today, I will add the 2 extra sessions for free to all your listeners. So in this case, you can practice really every week what you learn in the course. And it's fun. We'll give you a bit of idea of how to greet, how to order a restaurant, beautiful little words that you can apply to a different situation, but also how to speak with your hands, a tiny bit, which you can see my hands are going everywhere. And it's fun.
Oh, grazie, Monica.
Ready to learn some Italian? I put a link to our article on the top phrases to learn for your trip to Italy, and of course to Monica's site Su Misura Italy in the links below. And if you found this video helpful, hitting subscribe means that you'll get a new video every week. I cover the places most visitors never find, honest guidance on where to eat and stay, and the planning details that make a real difference to how your Italy trip turns out. Ciao for now.